Ladies and gentlemen, the horses are stepping onto the track for this evening's 11th race, the third division of the Jug Preview. A pace of 1 mile, a purse of $75,000. Exacta trifecta late pick 3 wagering begins here. A field of 7, no changes. Here's the field. With the 1 Execujet, 3-year-old bay colt by Presidential Ball by Locke, Gillock, and scattered area of Ontario and Pennsylvania, trained by Richard Gillock with earnings in excess of $98,000, a mark of 152 4/5. Trained by Richard Gillock, the driver Dave Hawk. Number 2 is All-American Captor, 3-year-old bay colt by Jate LaBelle by Ray Hall, Saddle River, New Jersey, and Jacobson of Crompound, New York, trained by Virgil Morgan Jr. with earnings in excess of $349,000, a mark of 150 2/5 at Northfield Park. Number 2, All-American Captor, and driver Brett Miller. Number 3, Canyon Wind, a 3-year-old bay colt by Cam Best, and with a Score Racing Stable Limited Liability Corporation of Colts Neck, New Jersey, the Valdior Farms, trained by Steve Elliott to mark a 152 2/5 at the Big M at the Meadowlands. Number 3, Canyon Wind, and driver Dallas Miller. Number 4 is Real Liar, 3-year-old bay colt by Real Artist, owned by NZ Racing Stable Incorporated at Allentown, New Jersey, trained by Brett Pelling, with earnings in excess of $28,000, a market freehold of 157 1/5. Number 4, Real Liar, and driver Kyle Ader. Number 5 is What an Artist, 3-year-old brown colt by Real Artist, owned by Arlene and Jules Siegel in New Hope, Pennsylvania, trained by Jim Campbell, with earnings in excess of $449,000, sporting a mark of 149 flat at the Meadowlands. Number 5, What an Artist, and driver David Miller. Number 6, Call Me Jate, with a 3-year-old brown gelding by Jate LaBelle with the Oldfield Farm Incorporated, Sand Creek, Michigan, trained by Richard Oldfield, and earnings of over $40,000. A mark here at Saturday Downs of 153 3. The 6, Call Me Jate, and driver Bob Harper. And for the outside, the number 7 is Corey's on Crombie, 3-year-old bay colt by Abercrombie by Ken Sommer of Sheffield, Ohio, trained by Bill Robinson, earnings in excess of $44,000. A mark at Woodbine of 152 flat. Number 7, Corey's on Crombie, and driver Danny Noble in the sulky. That's the field for the 11th race, the third division of the Jug Preview. Field of 7, no changes, exacta trifecta. Late pick 3 wagering begins here. Post time. In motion. They're off and pacing and firing away for the lead from the outside. Call Me Jate. Along the inside there, that is Execujet. Up on the outside, 3 wide, that is Corey's on Crombie. Coming away in 4, that is All-American Captor. Gap at 2 there, racing in 5th, that is Canyon Wind. 6th is Real Liar, and 7th and trailing the field, What an Artist, and he'll try it from the back of the pack as a royal scramble for command here as they race around the first turn and over to the opening quarter, and Execujet reports to the opening quarter in 26 2/5 as they pass in front of the stand for the first time and head on down to the half. On top, that's Execujet, and now rushing over the outside. Here is All-American Captor, and What an Artist is following that move as they roll under the wire with 5/8 of a mile remaining. Stepping around the clubhouse, turning on over to the half. All-American Captor from the inside. Up on the outside here, What an Artist is looking to clear as they race towards the halfway mile mark of the race, and What an Artist clear to the front end here through a half and 55 1/5. Off the turn and driving down the backside, setting sail towards 3/4, and What an Artist on the front end here, leading it by a length and a half to the inside. All-American Captor is racing in 2nd, staying in from 3rd, that is Execujet. First over the outside in 4th, that is Corey's on Crombie. 5th and buried at the rail is Call Me Jate. Up on the outside in 6th, that is Real Liar, and 7th and trailing the field, Canyon Wind, as they report to 3/4, and 123 3/5. They'll pace the final turn and head for home, and What an Artist under a tippy tap of the whip from David Miller with the lead here by a length and a quarter, and All-American Captor is breathing down his neck off the turn in less than an 1/8 of a mile to go, and down the stretch they come. What an Artist is being set down with a stretch drive. All-American Captor is trying to come to him. What an Artist, All-American Captor with one final surge. What an Artist hangs on to win it. All-American Captor to go 2nd. Execujet was 3rd at the time of the mile, 151 flat. What an Artist takes the third division of the Jug Preview. The 11th race, third division of the Jug Preview in the winner's circle to make the trophy presentation. The president and general manager of Saturday Downs, Mr. Edward T. Ryan, alongside the director of racing, Stacy Christie. Along with our dignitaries from Delaware, Ohio, once again, the home of the Little Brown Jug. Here's the 5, What an Artist. Pacing home in 151 flat, a 3-year-old brown colt by Rio Artist out of an O-What, a show mare. She by Incredible Finale. Owned by Arlene and Jules Siegel, New Hope, Pennsylvania, trained by Jim Campbell. Nicely handled here this evening by winning driver David Miller. 151 flat, What an Artist, and driver David Miller. I guess you could bill this as a Miller night out of the first 11 races this evening. Drivers Brett Miller and David Miller combining for 9 wins on this evening's program. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a nice round of applause to number 5, What an Artist, and driver David Miller, the 3rd division of the Jug Preview, 151 flat. Here's the prices for the 11th race. The 5-2 exact at $9 even. 5-2-1 try returns $22.20. The pick 3, the special pick 3 for the Jug Preview, 4-5-5, 3 of 3, $16.80.
The Meadowlands Pace eliminations looked absolutely unbeatable, but he seemed to have hit some rough spots. Do you think he's back on track with this mile?
Well, tonight he's definitely a lot better than he's been his last few races. David did a great job with him. Just took him off the gate. That's kind of what the horse needed tonight, and he needed a chance to get himself back up in the bit. And Dave drove him perfectly tonight. I hope he's on his game here in about a week and a half.
Now, Brian Sears has been driving this horse. Do you have any thoughts about who's going to drive him in the Jug?
Well, that's something I'll have to talk to Mr. Siegel and see which way he's going to go. Tonight Brian was racing in Pocono for us tonight, so it was no fault of Brian's for not being here. We were fortunate enough that Dave was available, and Dave did a great job for us.
How many horses, you consistently have brought several horses to the Jug in recent years. How many horses do you plan on bringing, and who's your best hope at this point?
Well, that's another thing I have to talk to Mr. Siegel about, being he's the one who has to pay the starting fee. We got 4 that could go. I want to bring all 4, but we got to weigh it out and see which ones have the best shot.
Well, congratulations, and we wish you luck.
Thanks, Nicole.
34th Annual Jug Preview, a